So I just woke up and I make the bed. Now I'm gonna go and start my day. Have a few calls today and some work to get done. Update, I had one of my calls already. We're having like the OKR planning session today with my team. One down, around 3 more calls to go because I have like one more last minute call added to my schedule. And Ash is having his lunch. Ordered food and it arrived. I'm having like the rice that I made. It's sweet and sour fish roll, yeah. Just a couple more hours until we're done. And yeah, so today Ash is working from home. So he goes to the office like 3 days out of the week. He can choose whichever days that he wants to go. So 2 days out of the week he's working from home. Don't really have any big weekend plans yet. Might meet my mom this weekend and my sister because they are both going back to New Zealand to meet like the rest of my mom's family because they live in New Zealand. That's the tea, that's the plan. Yeah, I kind of feel like just staying here in Jakarta for this like holiday season. Look at the sunset, it's so beautiful. I don't think you can see it like through the camera, but wow, it's so pretty. Like you can't see the sky. So the situation right now at our house at this time usually is that Ash is chilling, laying his PS5, and now we're gonna go get snacks. We're just gonna fall asleep, so we need some snacks. I usually go for the panda.
Panda?
Yeah, the last one.
This guy? Yo, play. I always use Eddie.
Okay, so I was just editing this video and I realized it's way too short, so I thought to add like this little segment in the end. It might help someone out there. I thought to just talk a little bit about my like experience and some tips and tricks that might be helpful. A little bit about my background. So I majored in business management when I was in uni, as most young adults at that time. Like at the time that I graduated, I really didn't exactly knew what I wanted to do. It was really like throwing out different ideas in my mind. I could like work in the business side in fashion. Should I stay in Melbourne? Should I apply work in Singapore, or should I go back and start my own business, you know, all these different types of like possibilities. I was still like kind of confused. I didn't know exactly like what I wanted to do, but I decided as a first step, I started working in BD, in business development, at this company called Shopee, which is like one of the biggest e-commerce company in Southeast Asia. So I started there. To be honest, I didn't quite like it. As I started learning and I started doing it, I realized like it wasn't for me, and so I quit after just a few months. You know, I feel like, you know, I just didn't want to waste my time. If I knew like I didn't like something and it wasn't for me, like what's the point? And I could be like doing something else and learning something else. And instead I applied to a few different companies, and at the time I was applying for HR. It sounds like super random, didn't know like what I wanted to do, but I thought like, you know, it's something like super different from BD. So I don't know, somehow or another, like I just set my mind on like, you know what, like let me try HR. Instead, when I was interviewing with this company, they referred me to a different like open position at the time, which was program management. I said yes to that because it sounded quite interesting when they described it to me. So I started doing program management in that tech startup, and I got myself a mentor, the CTO, as well as the senior PM there really mentored me really well, and I really learned a lot through that experience. I got a lot of like exposure in different types of like projects. Also, it was very like technical based, and I didn't have any technical background. Quite surprising, like whenever I tell this story, but I don't have any technical background, and that role was very like, it was like a technical program management role. So I really had to like learn on the go, and with the help of like my mentors there, I could do it. You know, I could learn step by step. I started to really like it. You just really had to rely on like strong logical thinking and being data driven to make decisions and carry out the projects. And if there's any hiccups or issues along the way, you gotta be able to get your team through it and get to that project goal at the end. I stayed and worked there for like 2 years, and then I felt like I needed a new challenge. Then I started at Gojek as a PM role as well. Either it's like creating processes or getting involved in different varieties of strategic projects. Not one day is the same here in Gojek. You always get to experience something different, learn something new. And yeah, moving on to the advice section here. What advice would I give? Number one, make a proper CV. I would say that's the first step, because I've seen a lot of bad CVs whenever you need to hire someone or people applying. You're shooting yourself in the foot if your CV is not like proper, the content of it, the format of it, like things like that. Maybe reach out to like a mentor to help you read through it, skim through it, you know, get feedback, make it better so that you can as best present like your experience and your skill set. Number two would be, don't be afraid to change course or change direction. Maybe you don't like what you were doing, you know, or maybe you just want to learn something new, experience different role. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Like, don't put yourself in a box to think that, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. Don't be afraid, just try, especially if you're still starting out, as I was. My third advice would be, get yourself a mentor to help guide you through like your career, to give you like feedback, you know, what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong, what you're supposed to do, the tips and tricks of getting better and better at what you do. Like having a mentor, having someone that really wants to see you grow and wants to see you like succeed, that really is helpful. So you know, I would say either it's like reaching out to someone who's more experienced or a good senior. You know, don't be afraid to do that, because like it will set you apart from being good at what you do or being great at what you do. I guess that's it. I hope something that I said is helpful or can be helpful for at least one person out there. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Bye!